Hey, today I'm going to be showing you how to edit any vlog to make it look aesthetic according to your own standards. I'm going to be showing you my own framework that I utilize for every single vlog and what that looks like. You can apply it to your own videos and use it as a foundation, but it's something that I completely created on my own, or at least keep in mind when I'm editing my vlogs. And then I'll show you how to tie your vlog together with specific edits, text, font styles, and making it look to a certain color, like if you have a certain scheme to your videos that you would like. I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to do all of that. So let's go ahead, make some coffee, head to the office, and we will start editing. And take this as you've already you've already filmed all your videos and all you have to do is edit it together. So we're starting from the point of just importing all of our videos and then we're getting to the editing. So let's go ahead and get to it. Okay, so there's a couple things that you need to keep in mind. And the first thing is going to be making sure that your shots side by side are at different angles. And that can include point of view, that can include long shots, medium shots, close-ups. So each and every shot should be something different. I wouldn't recommend having like a close-up next to a close-up, or medium next to medium, or a long shot next to long shot, or point of view next to point of view, just so that you can keep the video as engaging as possible, as entertaining as possible with those different shots side by side. So if you do a long shot, maybe next to it put a close-up. If you have a point of view shot, maybe next to it put a medium shot. So change it up a bit, and I would recommend just having different angles for every shot next to each other. So that is one of those tips that I keep in mind when I am filming, and then when I'm editing, it makes it a lot easier to kind of just put it together because I'm keeping in mind that I have to have different shots side by side. And it's not like a rule, it's not like you have to do this, but it's something that I keep in mind when I'm filming because it keeps it a little bit more entertaining, a little bit more engaging, instead of just sitting there and watching one thing happen in every single shot where the shot is the same. It can feel a little flat when you're watching your video. Another tip to keep in mind is make sure you have an objective to your video. So if your video is about making a coffee, don't make half of your video about making a pizza. It just doesn't make sense, especially if your thumbnail and your title have to do with coffee and making coffee or anything surrounding coffee. Don't make the video about something else. You can definitely have small snippets when you are putting your video together that are leading up to the objective of your video, but if you have a specific subject, title, topic for your video, make sure that everything aligns to the sole objective of that video. So again, if you have a video that's about coffee and vlogging about your coffee experience, don't have half of the video talking about pizza and how you can make the best pizza. You can have a small snippet of it that's leading up to your experience making coffee, and that's that. And that creates the kind of like the storyline and kind of a build up to you making coffee, if that makes sense. So make sure your content all aligns with the main objective, and if that's making coffee, make sure your video is about making coffee. My third tip is that music is so powerful. You can take a sequence of boring video and put it together, and if you have an emotionally evoking music track or soundtrack, it can change the feel, it can change the dynamic of the video that you're putting up. So if you have a video and you have a sequence of videos, you put it together and it kind of just feels boring, all you have to do is add in a really good soundtrack and it will help the audience feel immersed in your experience. Music is a journey at the end of the day, so the music is going to help them kind of go through the journey with you in your vlog. I highly recommend Epidemic Sound because they have some of the best music that I've heard of as far as different platforms that have royalty-free music. And if you're subscribed to them, then you don't have to worry about adding their music to your videos and then YouTube telling you that you have any copyright infringements on it. So I highly recommend to check them out. This video is not sponsored by them, but I do have an affiliate link that you can check out in the link below. So with that being said, let's go ahead and start editing a vlog. If you get lost or confused, or if I'm going too fast for you in this tutorial, then you're more than welcome to hit the settings option in the bottom right hand corner of your screen, and then you can select playback speed and change that to a slower rate, or you can simply just replay the part. I have CapCut downloaded on my desktop, so I recommend to have the actual app. You're going to open it up and hit create project, and then you're going to make sure that you're under import, then select import. You're going to go ahead and import all of the videos that you want to edit. Hit import. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to drag and drop all of the videos that you want to edit into your video. Make sure it's all in sequential order, and then you'll start editing it from there. So when I first import my video, what I typically like to do is I like to break it into different segments. So I like to talk in my video so I can connect with my audience, but I also like to show the vlogging side of it where I'm showing you my experience and what I'm doing. Typically, I will set the camera down and I will talk, or I will just hold my camera and I'll talk, and that'll be basically the main footage. And then I have B-roll that goes in between the footage. So it's not technically B-roll, but these are the action shots. So the action shots go in between those talking videos. So what I like to do is I like to lay out all of my talking videos first, and then I like to adjust the audio, and then I'll go back in and then I will start adding in all of the action shots. So I will show you on my timeline how that looks for me. So I like to hit this ruler right here on the right side. It will fit everything into the timeline so I don't have to scroll back and forth. I'm gonna go ahead and highlight all of them so they're all selected. And then I'm going to hit audio. And then I'm going to bring the volume down, because you can see right now there's a bunch of orange peaks, and you don't want the orange peaks because that indicates that it's too loud. So I'm going to lower it down. And what you can also do is you can click on this right here, kind of looks like a bunch of bars. If you click on it, this is your audio levels. So if you listen to your video and if you look at the audio levels, you can see how loud it gets. Keep it under -12. So -12 is like a good sweet spot, but you want to keep it underneath that. So in between -12 to -20 is a good audio level. If it goes over that here and there, that'll be okay. But if you have a consistent audio level above -12, then you want to make sure you lower that clip down. Once I have all my talking videos, or where I'm making my points in my videos on my timeline, I will go through it and then I will start trimming it down. So any parts where I say or I pause, or I say something that I don't really want to add in the video, I will go in and then I will trim it out. And to trim it out, all you have to do is hit this button right here. You're going to hit split, and then you're going to go through your video and you're going to trim it up. So you can zoom in for this part so you can actually see the audio frequencies of when it is silent. And then it makes it easier for you to just go in and really see where you're going to cut that part, what part you're cutting pretty much. So we'll say we're cutting this out, this out. Once you're done cutting everything up, you can go ahead and hit the same button you did before, and then hit select, and then you're gonna go back in and you're going to delete every section that you don't want in your video. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit the button that says zoom to fit timeline again, and I'm gonna delete everything that I don't want. Once you have everything trimmed out, then what I would do is I would go in between those specific talking points, and then I will add the video in of basically what I was doing in between those times. So there's a certain part where I'm in the car because I'm on the way to the store. So then between that part and then the part when I get back into the car, I'm at the store. So I want to put short clips of me in the store and kind of showing you my experience going through the store, but I don't want it to elongate at all. I don't want to hang out on a specific clip for too long. I'm going to chop it up. So it's kind of like a series of events and you're seeing the experience happen, but you just get the point across. So that could be 1, 2, 3 seconds of each footage, and then you're going to put it together, and it's kind of like a short within your long form video. So I'm going to go ahead and add in those small parts and then shorten those clips. What I also like to do during this part is I like to mute these videos unless I want the background sound to it. So that's why I adjust the audio to my main videos or my talking point videos first, and then I add in the vlogging part. But you can leave the audio on if you like, but that's my personal preference, is to mute it. And if I have certain sounds I want to hear in the video, then I will increase the volume. To mute a specific clip, all you have to do is click on it. There's a line that pops up, and then you can go ahead and just drag it down until it says -infinity dB. If we take a step back and we look at my timeline, you can see how I've pretty much laid it out. So I have my intro, and then to segue between what I'm doing here, versus, or to segue from what I'm talking about here versus when I get in the car and start talking, you can see that I have small short clips of my experience getting from point A to point B. And then this is your point B, this would be your point C. And so I have small little clips that show my experience between point B to point C. Then this is point C, and then this is point D. I have short clips right here that show the experience between point C to point D. So this is basically the layout that I do. I have my talking points, and then right in between I have small clips or short brief clips on my experience and what I'm doing. So I'm capturing the vlogging part of it, but I'm also putting in value for my viewers. So this is my personal layout, and this is how I go about editing. In between those point A, point B, point C, point D, between those talking head videos, everything is muted. The talking head videos or the videos where I'm making my point, obviously the audio is still on. And then where the short clips are, where it's muted, that's when I will add in a song that will basically allow my viewer to kind of like feel what I want them to feel during that part, and even during the entire video. Now that I've edited everything together, I'm gonna go ahead and start adding those small little personality parts, those little things that go with my brand or things that kind of express my personality. And that's going to be font types, text, transitions. And so typically what I like to do, and this is my standard, is I like to add transitions in between my talking point, transition into the vlog part, and then transition into the vlogging point. So you can do this however you want. You can add in the transitions wherever you want, but this is my personal framework. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to transitions. I'm gonna go ahead and hit light effect. And then I typically like to use glare, but you can use whatever you want. So I'm gonna go ahead and click and drag and drop this in between the talking part and my mini video part. Then I'm gonna extend it out. And then I will do the same thing for the end of those clips. So I'll go ahead and drag and drop this. I can adjust the duration so it looks like this in between. Oh, actually, this is not the right part. It will be right here. And then right here, it'll look like that when I get back into talking. Perfect. And then I will do the same thing for the other parts. So when you add transitions, you do it however you want. You can use whatever transition you want, and it makes it a little bit more engaging, a little bit more entertaining to watch. It just adds a little bit personality, and it kind of shows you in a way, like this is your branding, this is your style. So I always have a glare in all my videos because it basically helps with defining what my style is. And if my viewers were to watch my videos, they'll know that this is Chrissy's video because they recognize the style that she's editing. So this is typically what I like to do. And then I will go ahead and add text. So I'll hit text, then you can go ahead and hit add text, and then you'll go ahead and hit the plus sign where it says default. So then you can add it wherever you want. You can change the font. So I'm gonna go ahead and type in welcome to my channel. Obviously, I will put this at the beginning. So I'm gonna go ahead and zoom in, and you can zoom in right here. You can either do that, or if you have a Mac keyboard, you can hold Command and hit the minus to zoom out, or hold Command and hit the plus sign to zoom in. Then I'll go ahead and drag this to the beginning, and I can edit it however I want. So right here, I'll make sure that this white line is placed where I want to see the edit happen. Then I'll select the text, and then I can customize it however I want. So you can change the font style, you can change the font size, you can change the pattern if it's all caps or if it's lower caps, you can change the color. So you can explore the right panel to see what options you have and create your own style of text. You can use the same text over and over again by changing this to your desired text look. So I'm going to go ahead and change it to how I want it to look for every single video. So we're just going to use this as an example. So maybe I want this style of the text to be a preset. So every time I want to add text, I don't have to continuously change it up. I can go ahead and add it as a preset. So I'm going to select the text, make sure that's selected, and you'll know that because it's outlined in white on your timeline. Then you're going to hit save as preset. And then if you go to the left side and hit presets under text, you'll see that you have your preset set up right here. So then if I want to add in text right here, I can go ahead and hit any of my presets. Which one was it? I don't think it added, but we'll say it's this one. We'll go ahead and add this one in, and then we'll type in what it is. Tip number 1, talk to your audience like they are your friend. So then it'll show, you can change the duration by clicking the end of the video, the audio, or even the text, whatever you have on your timeline, and then you can drag it out or drag it in to change the duration of it. You can also select where it goes. So if you select the video, you can move the video around. If you select the text on the timeline, then you can move the text around. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in a bit, or make it bigger. And then I can do this with any of my presets. So you can make as many presets as you'd like. I have 2 specific presets that I always utilize, and it kind of ties into like my branding. So I'll go ahead and add the text wherever I want. Tip number 2. Have good lighting. By the way, these aren't even the real tips in the video. I am just kind of writing whatever comes to mind. And then I'll add a preset right here. So maybe I'll add this one. And then I'll say, LOL, making chicken nuggets. And then I'll put it over here, or maybe right here. And then I can change kind of like the position of it. So LOL, making chicken nuggets. Okay, so let's say we have added all the text that we want. So I'm just going to actually make it look a little bit more fluffy, but all you have to do is just add in your presets, or create your preset and then add in your text wherever you want it to show up. And by having the presets, it makes the process of adding text to your videos a lot faster. Okay, so let's say we have all of our text all sorted out. Then if you want to add anything else, such as other transitions, or if you want to adjust the way that the video looks, such as like brightness or color, you can definitely do that. So let's say you don't like the way a certain video looks and you want to adjust maybe the color of it or the brightness of it. What you can do is you can hit adjustment at the top of CapCut, and then under adjustment, there's a custom adjustment. All you have to do is hit the plus sign. It will add in wherever this white line is, and then you can adjust it to the section you want to alter the look of. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure that this covers the entire section, because the entire section looks a little dim. So then make sure that the adjustment is selected, and on the right hand side you can either do an auto adjust to where CapCut will automatically adjust it for you, but that is a pro feature. Or you can go in and look at the settings and change things up as you want. So I want this to look a little warmer. I will bring it more to the yellow side-ish. I want it to be brighter, so I'm going to increase the exposure. Contrast, I can leave as is. Highlights, maybe I'll increase just a bit. Whites, I want it to be a little bit lighter. And then sharpen, you can change the clarity. You can change however you want it to look here with all these options. But I think for the most part, this looks pretty fine for what I'm trying to improve on, because there's not too much you can do, but at least this will help. So you can see without the adjustment, this is what it looks like. And then with the adjustment, that's what it looks like. So once you have the adjustment over it, it basically changes the entire look of it. If you want the entire video to be edited a certain way, then you can actually add more adjustments into your timeline. So if you click on plus, you can move this around. And then let's say this part is too bright, then I will go ahead and add the adjustment, lay it over the entire clip of me talking. And then I'm gonna go ahead, make sure that this adjustment right here over it is selected, and I will adjust how that looks. So this is basically how I color grade. I don't actually technically know how to color grade with like the color wheels and stuff like that, but with CapCut, it makes it very easy to adjust the look of it with just the adjustment option. So once you have adjusted the lighting, once you have adjusted the audio and you've added in the text where you want it and the transitions and effects, then you're gonna go in and you're gonna add music. So we're gonna go ahead and open up Epidemic Sound. So when you're on Epidemic Sound, what's awesome about it is that you can search up certain type of music genres or moods. So for me, I typically go for like a vlog style. So you can type in vlog, Or you can go ahead and type in kind of the mood you're going for. So I typically will, if I'm not writing in vlog, then I'll write in lo-fi, hip hop, or something of that nature. And depending on my video, sometimes I'll have vocals in it, sometimes I won't. So all you have to do is go on Epidemic Sound. It's a very simple layout. You go through, you listen to a bunch of songs, and once you think you found the track, you're gonna go ahead and hit download right here. So let's say this is the song, you're gonna go ahead and hit download. You can download the full mix, or you can download only certain parts. If you want to only download like the bass or just the melody, you can do that, but I'll do the full mix. I'll go ahead and hit download. And then all you have to do is bring it to your timeline by going to imports and then clicking on import, find the song, and then add it into your video. So you're going to import the song, and then you're going to go ahead and drag this down to your timeline to where you want it to start and end, but make sure that you basically trim it down to the section of the song that you want heard on your video. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in at the audio part, and let's say I've listened to it and I really like this part of the video, or let's say I really like this section of the song. I'm going to go ahead and put it over my video of where my little vlog section is. And then of course you want to make sure that there's no orange peaks in your audio. So I'm going to go ahead and drag this down, and then I'll play it and watch my audio levels on the right hand side to make sure it doesn't go above -12. Okay, so I'm going to bring it up just a little bit. Bring it down just a bit. Okay, so I think that looks good. And then what I can do is, if I want certain parts of the song to go through, to basically play in each vlog section, you can stretch out the entire audio and then chop it up. So for example, you can stretch this out, and then I can chop this up by hitting Command B as in boy on my keyboard. Then I will drag this out to the next part, hit Command B, drag this to the next part, hit Command B, and then I can delete this part. So that's a way that you can do it, or you can allow the music to play the entire video and increase the volume at that part. So let's say I drag this all the way out and I want it to play very low. You can definitely lower it and listen to it to see and make sure that the music isn't too loud at all. You want the focus to be basically what you're saying. And then during the part where you're vlogging, you can hit Command B at the ends of each compilation or each vlogging section, and then you can increase the volume. And what I like to do, so if I want the video to have the same song throughout the entire thing, I'm gonna go ahead and delete all of this. I'm going to go ahead and make sure that there's no silent parts of the music. So I'm going to go ahead and trim off the silent part. I'm going to copy this track, and then I'm going to go to the end of the song, and then I'm just going to paste it. I'm going to paste it all the way through. Okay, and then, so I have the same song, it's the same volume through the entire video, and let's say during the vlogging parts where I'm not talking, I want it to be louder. All I have to do is basically split the audio, so hit Command B on your Mac keyboard, and then you can adjust the volume and increase it. Okay, so when you are done with your video, obviously you want to review the whole thing, so if we scroll through real quick, this is what it would look like. And so you can see the text popping up, that's important. You can see that the music obviously will get louder during the parts where I'm not talking, and it lowers when I am talking. We've added in the adjustments, so if the lighting or the color doesn't look good, we can adjust that. And then you can see the transitions in between when I'm vlogging versus when I'm talking. So this is how I edit my videos, and then if I have time and if I want to add in a little bit more fluff, then I'll go in and I'll add in extra things such as motion graphics or maybe pictures or even stock videos or B-roll. I'll just add that in over what I'm talking about. If you want to see the final version of this video, you can definitely check it out by clicking on the video on the screen. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you there. Bye!